happens when twin flames choose to date other people. In today's podcast episode, I want to share with you some strange experiences that twin flames will have after they consciously connect with one another in this lifetime in some way, recognize the connection or each other as being their divine counterpart or twin flame, and then choose consciously to return to different forms of soul connection or relationships, whether this is choosing to date a romantic soulmate or some other form of love connection. Because I know that this is a topic of interest for many people. As we know, the twin flame journey can become really energetically intense at times because it brings up within us all of these really deep-seated energetic wounds, blocks, and patterns, some of which don't even come from us, but are stored and passed down through generations, which I actually touched on in a recent video on generational curses as well, if you would like to explore more about that. But really in this video, we are going to be focusing on what you can experience emotionally, even physically, when you do date other people after consciously connecting with a twin flame in this life. But before I get into this video, I do want to introduce myself to anyone who is new to the channel. So if you are new here, then welcome. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Be sure to double check that you are subscribed to this channel, because by subscribing and joining our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube, this allows me to more easily pick up on your energy and vibration, which means I can bring forth more relevant content, videos, and information for you in the future. So the first thing that tends to happen with twin flames who consciously choose to date other people after meeting one another is that they will feel this nagging pull back to one another. Perhaps this is the most pervasive sign of a twin flame going back to or trying to date other people. There is just this sense of longing for that home space energetically, because although we can share a degree and a level of depth within other forms of connection and relationship, only our twin flame shares our identical core soul frequency, what we sometimes call the home frequency, which is why they feel more like home than any other form of connection. And yes, we can feel this home frequency to a kind of extent with other forms of soul connection. So within our soul families that we think of as soulmates, both platonically and romantically, we can feel this sense of familiarity with these other souls because we have a similar core frequency to these other souls. However, after meeting our twin flame, it's an experience that breaks us open to the depth of connection available to us in this lifetime that we may have not been aware of previously. So the thing is, prior to consciously interacting with our twin in this life, we won't have the awareness, the full awareness that that kind of depth exists and is available to us. So we might feel much more happy, satisfied, or fulfilled without as much of a sense of longing for more depth within that connection, because again, we wouldn't fully be consciously aware that depth exists if we hadn't yet consciously connected with our twin flame. Now, the thing about this is, if you are someone who is destined to experience a twin flame path in this lifetime, and you haven't yet consciously interacted with or met your twin in this life, you will still have this nagging sense of longing that will seem to follow you through every romantic relationship. In fact, this is one sign that you are someone destined to meet your twin flame or be on a twin flame path, is that no matter who you date or how long you're together, or even if you get married and have a family with a person who is not your twin, even if you haven't yet met your twin flame, you will have this sense of, I just have a feeling that there is someone else out there for me that I'm going to connect with in this extremely profound way that is not like any other connection I've ever experienced. But the thing is, after meeting consciously your twin flame, not only do you have that sense of longing that was within your soul all along, but now you have overlaid on top of that the fact that that feeling you've had your whole life, that there was someone else out there for me, that I was going to connect with someone who would absolutely change my life in this profound way, that is now confirmed to your conscious mind and to the more ego, human-based self through actually meeting that person that you always felt within you in physical form. So this is one challenge for twin flames who do go on or move on to pursue other forms of love relationship, is that they now have this conscious knowing, this conscious confirmation of what they sensed within their soul, the presence of this other person they sensed within their soul their entire lifetime. And it makes it very difficult to feel fully fulfilled and truly happy within these other forms of connection while they still hold on to this sense of knowing of the true identity of their twin. Now, in connection with this, the second thing that will happen to twin flames who pursue other forms of romantic connection or date other people is that they will have this jarring feeling of what if. They will often find themselves receiving constant flashes of vision, daydreams, even literal intense dreams at night where they are connecting in this alternate timeline with their twin flame. An alternate timeline of reunion in this physical lifetime where they are together or more consciously interacting or connecting with one another. And this, again, can feel very jarring to the emotions and to the energy. It can feel kind of like having one foot in two different worlds or two different timelines, because there's a part of you who is actively trying to move on and connect romantically with this new person. But then there is this other part of you, the more soul side of you, that is living in or receiving these flashes of visions about this higher vibrational timeline in which you are on this path to reunion with your twin or in some kind of reunion state in the physical with your twin. So this can leave you feeling really energetically or emotionally chaotic or disjointed, which can actually even manifest in your physical body as well, which really leads me into the third thing that can happen to twin flames when they do attempt to move on or date or connect with romantically other people. And this is that they can actually experience this attempted extraction of their twin flame from their energy field, which is of course impossible because twin flames are energetically the same and therefore energetically always together, always intertwined. But when we consciously attempt to extract this twin flame soul from our energy, which of course is impossible, we can even feel this very strong blowback, this pushback kind of energy, again, from attempting to do what is impossible, to push back against another soul that is actually within us all the time. We can experience this as physical symptoms and even energetic depletion. We can find ourselves feeling like we are almost, for some, this can manifest as feeling like we are older in our bodies or aging faster, whereas when we're connected more with our twin, we can at times find ourselves feeling younger, feeling more youthful or vital. For other people, this can manifest as experiencing certain mysterious pains or illnesses in our body when we attempt to extract our twin from our energy or push back against them, because again, we are trying to push back against our very own soul, which is creating this disjointed kind of feeling within us that can literally also lead us to just generally feeling energetically depleted. Of course, it's normal through twin flame ascension and the awakening our twin flame spurs within us to feel variances in our energy levels from time to time, but we will especially feel those dips in our energy when we are attempting to connect with other people romantically consistently over the course of time. And this can also show up as a depletion in creative energy. So we might find ourselves blocked from fully accessing our own creative power or our own inner intuition, our inner voice, when we try to disconnect ourselves from our twin and connect with someone else romantically. Because again, there is this pushing back happening where we are pushing back, or we believe we're pushing back against our twin flame physically, but in the process, we're actually pushing back against our very soul, our very own heart and soul desires for ourselves, our life, and this path. Another thing that tends to happen when twin flames try to connect with or date other people is there could be communication issues within these new relationships or connections that didn't seem to be there in the past. But the reason for this is because twin flame communication operates entirely differently. In fact, most communication with our twin flame is entirely non-verbal. And I'm not just talking about physical body language. I'm talking about non-verbal communication in the form of energetic transfer. So when we are with our twin flame, we are communicating predominantly outside of and beyond physical language and words. So even at times when it is very energetically intense, or even in moments where we feel triggered in our ego, at the same time, there is this effortless transfer of energy between ourselves and our twin happening perpetually that leads to natural understanding of one another, a kind of mutual knowingness, a mutual understanding that makes communication unusually effortless. Now, when we attempt to go back to or date other forms of connection, even soulmates, even romantic soulmate connection, we find that communication is burdensome at times. In fact, we might feel as though we are just bored of trying to use words to conversate with this person, which sounds so strange, but something I know many of you will be able to relate to. It's like you find yourself just no longer willing to put in the same kind of force and effort into your words, your communication. Between even romantic soulmates and absolutely within other forms of connection romantically, there is usually this kind of calculated nature behind our words, how we speak, what we say, and it comes from trying to make the right impression on someone or say the right thing or connect with someone in the right way. And we find that with our twin flame, even though at times our ego might cause us to try to put this same kind of calculated mindset into our language with our twin, at the core, the communication is simply so effortless. There is this shared understanding that completely transcends words and doesn't exist to that same degree in other forms of connection. So this leads me into the next thing that sometimes happens to twin flames when they try to date other people is, and it sounds so blunt, but at times they can find themselves simply getting bored, which I know sounds like a really strange word to describe this kind of trying to connect with other people or date other people. But at the soul level, there is this kind of exhilarating expansion that takes place with and through your twin flame connection. And it really causes the connection with our twin to be so multifaceted because it encompasses all areas of our life purpose, our life path, our self-growth and development. And sometimes at times our ego may fear some of that expansion or feel triggered by it and get this kind of, or feed us this kind of romantic nostalgia for past relationships, perhaps even relationships with people before we were on this twin flame journey, before we met our twin. And it can tell us, remember how that relationship just felt so warm and so easy and so familiar because we're kind of seeing it through the rose-colored glasses we always tend to see the past through. And when we try to return to those old forms of relationship, or for some twin flames, even the exact same people they connected with prior to being on this conscious twin flame path, they will find that the relationship, although it may still be something that is, yes, safe and familiar, and there might be a warmth and a familiarity there between yourself and the person, at the same time, it doesn't have nearly the amounts of potential for growth, for expansion, for that exhilarating, breathtaking feeling of connecting with another soul at all levels and layers of your being, which can quite literally register to the mind as feelings of boredom or disinterest in these others, again, in spite of all other factors involved. Even regardless of some level of attraction that might exist between yourself and that other person. Although another thing, which leads me into the next and the final sign of twin flames trying to date or connect with others after meeting their twin, is that you may actually find that you no longer feel attraction towards these other people in the same way. You just can't seem to feel the same level of physical, emotional, mental chemistry and attraction with these others, even if you felt attraction to them in the past. And this is because, and this really could be a whole separate video, but the way in which your twin flame energetically activates you upon meeting does often have this effect of so lighting you up and pulling you in energetically that it really energetically severs the cords and attachments of attraction to any other soul or human being or within any other form of relationship or connection. And this isn't to say that twin flames can never feel attraction to other people. It's just to say that it's much more difficult to sustain the same level of consistent pull, consistent attraction with another soul after your twin flame activates you in this way. Now, if you are someone who is resonating with any of these signs, feelings, or experiences, perhaps you found this twin flame journey becoming really intense, and at certain points in time, you may have considered or tried to pursue other romantic relationships or people, which, by the way, is entirely within your own free will. And I'm absolutely not trying to persuade or dissuade anyone from any form of relationship, because every relationship serves a purpose and has its value. So I always recommend listening to your own intuition above all else, because we all do have unique soul intentions for this twin flame path. But with that being said, when we feel these uncomfortable experiences trying to connect with other people or trying to push back against this twin flame journey, really what we're feeling is the call of our soul toward deeper levels of surrender. And what I mean by surrender is truly surrendering to the divine and to the highest path for us, relaxing into the knowing that everything is unfolding for us, allowing ourselves to shift our focus away from the externals of the journey, which can be very chaotic at times, and to refocus our beautiful energy and intention and attention back where it belongs, which is within our own self. Focusing on balancing ourselves, healing ourselves, cultivating that inner self-support. And to assist you in this process, regardless of where you are on the journey, I have created a twin flame surrender subliminal meditation. And this is really designed to shift you into that state of peace, balance, and harmony along your twin flame path. And for those of you who do have the soul's desire to manifest a physical reunion with your twin flame counterpart, this will put you in the position to effortlessly attract that reunion state by stabilizing the energy first within yourself, creating what we call an energy union between yourself and your twin in the 5D through this deeper level of surrender, because surrender is the most powerful and magnetic state of being we can attain as twins, and everything can really flow, manifest, and be attracted to us from that stabilized state of surrender. So this twin flame surrender subliminal comes from my website, soundandsoulful.com. So as you can see on the screen, on this website, I have over 100 subliminals for all areas of life. So I have subliminals for physical appearance changes, for mood shifts, for money and material manifestations, for love and relationships, for energy clearing, and of course for twin flames as well. And when you create a free trial account on my website, you can access any subliminal I've created completely free for 7 days. And again, all the information on that is in the pinned comments and description box under this video. Otherwise, be sure to subscribe to this channel, join our beautiful community here. Also, leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts on twin flames dating others, or if you've experienced any of these things in your own life and along your own path. Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you again in the next podcast.